This has been an incredible day, I have to say. There's been a bit of a reoccurring theme today on stage with people talking about taking a break and spending time with family, and Julia just kind of reminded me there about family and horses. Julia leaned over and said, horses, because we share that passion. We took 3 months off, literally picked up the girls at the end of May and said, right, this is it, we've 3 months together. What are we doing? Where are we going? And they had a list, didn't they? Poor Ian. Before Ian knew it, I might say, unfortunately, I don't know, Jane qualified to go to ride at the RDS, and we had no horse lorry. So the horse people know, catastrophe, 2 weeks before the RDS, where do you sleep? There's nowhere to go. So we bought the horse lorry, and before Ian knew it, he was traveling the country in an 18-ton lorry. And he was thinking, is this really what I signed up for? I thought Forever was going to give me this lifestyle. I was like, it is a lifestyle. It's amazing. But we started Forever 14 years ago. And my first goal was I figured if I earned 200 a month, that would be good. And the reason I thought that would be good, not more than good, really good, was because for those of you who have young children, mine were 2 preschoolers, Molly and Jane, they were 2 and 4. And I figured by the time I paid somebody to take care of them full time, I went out to work and paid full-time childcare, I'd be left with about 50 euros a week. It's about right, isn't it? And I thought 10 euros a day, that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And someone mentioned earlier about jammies, going to childcare in jammies and picking them up in jammies. And I'd been a nanny for a few years in New York, and I saw the results of parents being away for long hours, and I thought, that's not for me. But Ian was running a traditional business, and we needed cash flow. And I decided I'd be the good wife. I'll go get the cash flow. And Ian said, what'll you do? And I said, I haven't a clue. But there must be something. And you get a job? No, I can't do that. That wouldn't work out money-wise with childcare. But so what are you going to do? I don't know. There has to be something out there. So anyway, I could say luck came calling, but it came in the shape of Martina Murphy. She told me about Forever, and she showed me how to work the business, and we were manager within 4 months. And we had a very good business for about 10 years. We had a really nice lifestyle, didn't we? We had a gorgeous lifestyle. Ian had a really big business in property development. He was making his fortune. I had my Forever business. I had thousands coming in every month from Forever. And everybody knows what happened in 2008. Big shock. Our property development business really started to go downhill really, really fast. And by 2010, we got a letter one day to say that we were to pay 3.5 million by the next day. Our postman is a part-time farmer. You can only get that in Ireland, really. The sheep and the cows are taken care of first, and the post comes second. So unfortunately for us, if the post had arrived at 9 in the morning, we probably could have found the 3.5 million. But it didn't. The post came at 5 o'clock, which makes the difference, doesn't it, between finding 3.5 million. So it came at 5, Ian opened the letter, and I was, of course, over his shoulder. We do think Ian's a bit dyslexic, don't we? So Ian is too, Bernie. It's not diagnosed, but definitely. So while he was trying to still figure out what the letter said,
3.5 million?
Yeah, who's giving me 3.5 million? I was over his shoulder, and I just said, the game's up. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, the game's up. That's it. It's gone. The business is gone. What's it say? What's it say? I says, it says that they're taking everything by tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So Ian raced up the next day, I'll tell you anyway, I suppose. And anyway, unfortunately, it all went. You know that saying that somebody says to you, don't read the newspapers, it's all bad news. And if something you need to know, you'll find out. We found out. We got about 3 phone calls months later in the space of a morning to tell us that we were in the Irish Times, that we were on the Ray D'Arcy show. And we were going, what? What do you mean we're in the Irish Times? The houses that Ian had worked to build had been sold off on an overnight ticket system. They were sold so cheap, 30,000 they were sold for. We had them under contract for 100,000 when the bank took them. And they sold them for 30,000 on overnight, and people queued overnight to buy them. And everybody thought this was amazing. Wasn't it fabulous? We're getting houses for 30,000. And I thought, you don't know the other end of the story. You don't know how hard someone worked to build those houses. But we got the news via people we knew what was going on. And, you know, we had to throw that over our shoulder, didn't we? And we had to say, we have an amazing business in Forever. We're just going to let it go. Just let that bad stuff go, and we're going to move on. And we did that, and a family becomes very important, doesn't it? It's not all about money. So we spent... and I would have to say that thank God for Forever, because how many of you know people who got those letters and did the unthinkable, or went very downhill in their attitude and their health? Because we had had all those years of personal development with Forever, we were actually able to quite quickly see what was real, what was the important things, and we were able to move on really, really quickly. And Ian became very involved in Forever, and we started to build our business, really build our business. This year, to actually see everybody on the stage today, Jason, you're doing an amazing job. So proud of you, so proud of you, an amazing job. Louise on stage, starting from Donna Brady to Aileen and Seamus to Anne and Paddy to Louise and Jason, Derek, Christine. Can you imagine sitting here watching those people in your team all in the top 20? So I can't thank you enough. And for all of the rest of you who are on the stage as VIPs, you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. One thing in Forever that I always wanted was, I just wanted to have an amazing team. It wasn't about, for me being amazing, it was about them being amazing. So the one thing that I would say is surround yourself with great people and shine in their shadows. And for me today, I just felt that we were shining in the shadow of our team. So thank you to the leaders here in Forever. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob, so much for making it easy for us to do this. Because that's what he does, isn't it? Yeah. He makes it easy for us to do what we need to do to build a business. Julia O'Brien, I am so excited for you. And she's not going to tell the secret. I just want to tell it, but I'm not. But she's going to have an amazing check. She drinks on you, Julia. Julia's buying everybody drinks. Did you hear that when she gets her check? I have to go to Singapore. You have to go to Singapore. We'll be there. Plenty of, what is it? What do they call Singapore slings? Yeah, plenty of those are on Julia. I'm fingers crossed for you. I know you're waiting to hear, and I so have my fingers crossed. I'm praying and willing it for you. And you deserve it, because none of us would be here if it actually wasn't for you. Yeah. We wouldn't be here. Yeah. So, Marion, Pauline and Paddy, all the leaders, just amazing, went before us and made it easy for us to do what we do. So thank you to all our team. You're incredible, and we are so, so blessed to have you. Build your business with integrity. Build it with honesty and integrity. Do the right thing. I know you're seeing people moving fast and doing things fast, but stay true to you. And build a secure business and stay true to you. Do it and do it right. Do it with integrity. And enjoy the journey and how it's going to affect your life. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, my story is very like Bernie's. I left school when I was 15. I was later on, I think it was my wife told me I was dyslexic. I don't know if it's my eyesight or what it was, but all the names got jumbled up, especially with the 3 million. When the thing came in for the 3.5 million, I thought I won the lotto. Did I win another 3.5 million again? I read it all wrong. But very like Bernie, as Bernie says, I left school when I was 15. I had really no education. I always wanted to be a millionaire, and that was my idea. That was my first thing in my life, was I just wanted to be a millionaire, and school was holding me back. So I went out there because I wasn't making any money at school, so I says, I better get out there and make money where the real money is. So then I worked for my father for a while, and he wasn't paying me that well, so I says, I'll go to America. And I worked for a guy in America, and he paid me pretty well, but not enough. I wasn't going to be a millionaire, so I says, let me work for myself, see how that goes. So I worked for myself, and I anywhere between 40 to 60 people working for me at a time. And it went very well. We lived in New York. I moved to Florida. We had a great time in Florida, built another business down there. And myself and Lisa got married. Fair play to her. That took me on. Who would take me? So she flew, we had our first child, she flew back to Ireland to show her parents our first kid and decided to buy a house when she was back here. So she called me up and she says, we're moving to Ireland, Ian. I says, are we? What are we going to do with the businesses here? She says, I just bought a house. Let's move back. So we did and started a property business. I sold all my stuff over there, and my properties, my businesses, and came back to Ireland. But all my life, it was always another challenge. And when my businesses went over here, and I got into the property business, as Lisa said, and it went. But when I went to America, I borrowed 360, I just remember it there now, £360, and I borrowed it to go to America. And I really had nothing when I got there. So I went, what can you actually go back to? When you start with nothing, all you can do is go up. So this business is the greatest vehicle that I've ever had, and all the businesses I've ever owned. This has been the cheapest, most successful business that I've ever had, because you can't lose. Actually, the more you put in, the more you get back out again. There's no overheads. I say this to everybody. When you've owned your own business, you know about the overheads that's involved in it. And anybody that's owned their own business knows that every week, every month, there's an outlay. And this business, what is it, our mobile phone, our car? We have those anyway. There's no other expense involved in this business, so why not do it? You know what? You've got this pack and it's a toolkit, and it's €368. That's not enough. It should be €368,000 for that pack. So then you would work harder because you have to pay it back. I know in all my businesses, when I took out a loan, you had to pay it back, and you worked damn hard to pay that loan back. And this business, it's too easy to get back out of it. So don't give up. I know I'm hogging the mic here, so I better get off it. Bob's going to hit me with a stick or something. But don't give up. Keep going. Nobody fails in this business. People just give up. Thank you.